Hello everyone, my name is Chanel and you're watching my book talk episode 20. Last video you heard me talk about the book Hunted by PC and Kristen Cass. Now today's video celebrating episode 20. Yay, we made it. Cue a pause. No? Okay. We are now going to be talking about Shimmer by Alyson Noel. If you have not seen my book talk for Radiance, you can click the box right here. It might not be that symmetrical, but it will be there. Trust me. Alright, so this book is the sequel to Radiance by Alyson Noel, which is right here under my other book pile. And this is the second book in the Riley Bloom series, which is a spin-off from the Immortal series. And if you would like to go to that playlist, then click right here. Show in frame right here. Alrighty, so this is the sequel to Radiance, and this is talking about, Riley's just gotten back from talking to the council. She thinks she deserves a little vacation from, meeting the Radiant Boy. Duh. So Riley, Buttercup, and, Bodhi are getting a well-deserved vacation, which is kind of dumb, seeing that that was their first mission, and they're like, oh, we're done with the first job. Let's go on a vacay. So seems unsensible to me, but this is just a random sidetrack. Why would you take a vacation after your first soul capturing thing? Like, that's like saying, oh, I just worked the first day on a job. I think it deserves a 2-week break. Makes no sense to me. Anyway, this was, and I'm just reading some stuff off the back, looking at it. This is not my favorite book. It was painful to read this. And it could have majorly been written, better. It could have majorly been written a little bit, better. It could have been written a lot better. But it's 196 pages, and okay, the pages are stuck. Yeah, 196 pages, yes. And this was not my favorite book because Riley just seems like. Riley I like. She's like a little bit of a wild child. But I never could connect with Riley as much as I could connect with Ever. You see what I'm saying? It's like I could connect more with Ever Bloom than I could with Riley. You see? So, I could slightly connect with Riley. I could have when I was younger when I read some of these, but I can't now. I can connect more with Ever. Because Ever is more like my type of person, whereas Riley was more like the 12-year-old, 5-year-old me. Not 5-year-old, 10-year-old. Let's get that correct. I did get the side by Alyson Noel, and she wrote Shine Bright. And, let's just, I'll make a separate video about when I met her, when I met some authors. But this book was just not the greatest. It was just, it felt so, I don't know what's the word. It just felt so, I don't know if it was rushed. I feel like. I wasn't around, duh. I don't remember buying this on the day it came out, because this came out in 2011, whereas this came out on, this came out in 2010, so a year, which for some authors I can understand, for some authors I can't. For Alyson Noel though, with her Immortal series and this series, I just don't get. Why do you take 2 years to write Night Star? Why do you take 2 years from Night Star to Everlasting? Why do you take a 2-year gap in between that, yet you don't take a 2-year gap between this and this? In all honesty, if she had stuck to the way in the timeline she was writing these books, then Whisper and Dreamland, I think Dreamland should have came out last year, and Whisper should be coming out next year. And my thing is this: if you know the way you write, then just stick to the way you write. Don't just rush out a book. I mean, hey, supply and demand, but hey, your readers gotta understand, chillax, homie. I, personally, am working on a good book for y'all. So you can just chill back down and just chillax. Kind of like that. Not that blunt, though, but... I mean, this came out a year after, here's my thing. This is Dreamland, of course. And I'm looking, this was written in 2011 also. Which is just kind of weird for me. Like, look, I'll show you right here. I have a list. My mom did this for me, which was really sweet of her. Basically, it's all the Riley Bloom books in the front right here, and all of her books. Here, the Riley Bloom series, the single novels, the Immortal series. Well, it says next to Radiance and Shimmer, it says 2011. Why were all of these books written in 2011? Now, truthfully, Dreamland is my favorite. This was really my favorite. I loved Dreamland better than I loved any of these books, really. But this was... It was rushed. I felt like the writing could have been way better compared to other stuff. The writing in this was way... You know what? I want to take that back. I ain't blowing this crap out of proportion. This book was written way better than this book. This book and this book were... These two books... This was good. This was a good finish. I even liked the cover. That was good. But my thing is, you're rushed this. Why would you write 4 books in a year? You just wrapped up a series, and you're like putting more stress on you. And Dreamland was a success. Whisper was alright. This, no. Just no. Why do you have Bodhi acting like a friggin' control freak? I don't understand that. Why is he a control freak? He's just like, oh, Riley, you're doing this wrong. Hold on, let me get the snotty voice I think of him as having. Oh, Riley, you're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong. Then, stupid Rebecca at the end bows down to him like, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And he's like, let me take off the glasses and look all cool. Oh, you're welcome. I'm happy I helped you move on to the other side. He's like taking credit from her. That's so irritating to me. He is like the guy that is like a pest. Like, you ever have that itch you can't scratch? And it's like a pest? And then once you try to go to scratch it, it leaves? That's what he is! Except he doesn't leave. He instead takes credit for your soul catching and your soul moving on. You crossing over souls. You trying to get higher up in the council. You trying to get more credit. And, you trying to get higher up in stature, or whatever the heck you say. You're trying to earn more credits. I'll call it that. Yeah, he's just taking all the credit, and then he's saying you did wrong. Oh yeah, wait till he hears your side of the story. Wait till he hears my side of the story. How you did totally wrong, Riley. You did everything wrong. Oh, may we just speak on Riley for a second? Riley, I know, I wasn't expecting her. I was not expecting when I first went to the series for her to be a slight wild child. I got that feeling of. I got this feeling of she is like wild. Like she is like Avril Lavigne, and Bodhi is like, I don't know, like freaking Paris Hilton. Avril Lavigne is crazy and insane. Paris Hilton never shuts the heck up and takes credit for everything. I'm sorry to say that, but that's true, honey. But, and then you've got Rebecca, who is just, I know, your whole family was killed in the slave revolt. Well, you got killed in the slave revolt along with your parents. But you lashed out by keeping people, and yet after that, you're like, I will feel good, but I will not let them go. You are like Maleficent. She goes from being a happy girl. Rebecca in this is Maleficent. Okay? And she just stays trapped in your worst memories. Who wants to be trapped in their worst memories? That's like, that's like saying, oh, I enjoy stepping on a Lego. What kind of logic? Like, I'm serious. Like, you enjoy being in your worst memories? And then, Bodhi's just like, oh, and then Riley, in the beginning of the book, goes and sees the black dog. It's like, oh, let me cross him over. Bodhi's like, no. Like, would you cross him over if you were a newbie? Duh. But Bodhi is just a bad teacher. And I never liked him, and I never will like him. He's just a bad teacher, and he's just an irritating person. And the more I read this book, the more